Start now, Jay.
Potentially the last group review ever.
Yeah, we'll start arguing about beer. Hello, folks. We're doing an examination of the new and improved alternative recipe for Rockdale Light, introduced perhaps as early as 2015, exclusively for Walmart stores. And we've heard rumors that there's going to be other Rockdales, but we've not seen them.
Now, the only person that I've ever talked to that's ever seen a Rockdale lager, if you remember right, Jay, I think he was on here with me and you, maybe some others, was Dave Coulter. Said he actually in Ohio had the Rockdale lager on the shelf.
Yeah, I was going to invite him to this. He didn't seem too interested. He said he drank the Rockdale Light, and he said it wasn't bad, but he had to get it really super cold. He was at someone's house, and he said, well, I think he said it went well with pizza. But he's not really into these types of beers, but he did say he was interested in looking at those Walmart, the craft style beers, you know, the Trouble Brewing.
Yep, I have those.
We'll probably see him for that. Next week, we're going to do the Milwaukee's Best Ice, the new and improved 6.9. And then down the road, I guess we'll have to look at the new Ice House 6.9.
Yep.
Which is supposedly in this area as I speak. Now, the Miller salesman stopped me Monday and said, hey, come see. I said, what? He said 6.9 is here. I said, where? And then he wasn't quite sure where to get the singles, so he got my phone number and he said he was going to call me.
See, I haven't seen the 6.9s anywhere around here yet. I've looked for them. I can't find them yet. So
okay, so I'm going to go get my can. I was trying to finish up this Christian Brothers BS. All right, so I'm going to go get my can.
Yeah, I got a 4-pack of the 6.9 Ice House at Walmart for $3.47.
See, I went to Walmart the other day trying to find it, and we still got the original formula here.
We also have, I saw an 18-pack cans, 12 ounce for $10.87 or something. It was 10 plus.
Yeah,
that's pretty cheap.
It is.
We pretty much have all of the Ice House around Tampa here. It's all 6.9 now.
Okay, we'll get it. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at that probably in a month or two. All right, we have Bill from Florida, William from North Carolina, myself, Louisiana Beer Reviews from Louisiana. Up north, we have John Sharon. Jose couldn't make it. He's at work for the Brew Dude. A few other people wanted to do it. They could not find it. So they got disgusted and gave up. This is, like I said, a private label brand. It's made by Genesee. Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. City Brewing up there in La Crosse, the former Heilemann's Brewery. For Walmart. Now, yeah, they make some bad stuff like Pit Bull malt liquor and all that, but they also make Sapporo Stone Warrior. They make Sapporo, the bottled version, you know, the regular Sapporo. They make Guinness blonde, American blonde lager, which I need to get the new bottle design for my collection. They also make the Guinness American IPA. So,
do they not? Don't they make some Sam Adams also?
I would not mention that on the internet tonight if I were you. I might not be smart to say it. No, they do all kind of stuff. So yeah, it's just whatever they're getting contracted to do. You know, they do a lot of Pabst beers. Like
they do the old tankard ale, don't they?
No, that's Cold Stone Brewing. No, Cold. Oh, maybe.
Old tankard ale.
I think they do old tankard ale, Jay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The code sure looks like City Brewing, and they also do Iron City Lager.
Yeah, I had that, and they do just a plethora of stuff. Heilemann Special Export.
Now let's back up here a second, because I know Williams is pretty good at knowing this stuff too. But isn't it the Iron City? Isn't that made in by Pittsburgh Brewing Company?
Yeah, but they don't have a brewery in Pittsburgh anymore.
What happened to that? I guess I'm lost on that.
Went out of business and it got bought out. Somebody bought the brand, and it's sort of like that burger Burger beer.
Yeah.
They contract with a different company to make it.
I think Iron City is brewed at the Latrobe facility.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of 3 City Brewing owns. They always have huge capacities for brewing beer. They brew a whole lot of beer.
Yeah, they have a huge facility in La Crosse, Wisconsin, the old Schlitz Brewery in Memphis.
That's the largest one.
Yeah. And they got the one in Pennsylvania.
But I think Pennsylvania is where the is where Iron City's made at, because I think they also make one that I've had a few times called Pennsylvania Light. I don't know if anybody's had that or not.
No, but I've heard of it. Latrobe is the former Rolling Rock.
Yeah.
Now, okay, you were talking about the price went up in your area. Well, I have to tell you now that in my area, the price actually dropped. When they first came out with this Rockdale Light, the old 83 calorie and 3.5% alcohol, it was 11 something, a 24 pack, like 11.56. Now it's 10.56 for the 24 pack, and it's $4.28 for the 6-pack of pint cans. Okay.
See, I used to get $9.96 for a case, and over the last week, it's gone up to $11.96 for a case.
Now I was talking to the Budweiser, the Anheuser, so it went up for you. Yeah, $2. Huh? I was talking to the Budweiser guy, and he said that stuff doesn't sell. It barely moves. Of course, he's a competitor because the people that distribute Rockdale Light in my area is the Coors distributor. So maybe he was trying to.
That's who distributes here. The Coors distributor.
Although the guy I'm talking about is pretty honest, you know, he probably wouldn't really lie about it.
Where I purchased mine.
Coors does it in your area too, huh?
Yeah, Coors does it here in my area too. Yeah.
Where I purchased my 6-pack, you could get a 24-pack of Keystone Light for 22 cents more than Rockdale. $11.98 versus $11.76. So 2 dimes and 2 pennies could get you Keystone. Yeah,
and at Walmart here, you can pay the exact same price, $4.28 for pint cans 6-pack, and you can get Steel Reserve, the 6% version, which to me is a much better value. But anyway, maybe some people will buy this Rockdale Light. Anybody here has never had it?
I've never had it.
Okay, Bill's never had it. We're going to let Bill go first. You've had it, William?
I drank one out of my 6-pack. That was the first one. And I drank a couple of the Trouble Brewing variety packs so far.
Yeah, I need to go buy that. They don't sell it here. I have to go to a town about 38 miles away to get it. So yeah, we're looking at a value brand. I guess they figured Rockdale Light would sound better than Great Value Light Beer.
Or Sam's Club.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I got to say, I bought some of that Sam's Club smoked sausage, you know, the pre-cooked. It was not bad. It's probably made by a big outfit. Anyway.
But you know, I think the 16-ounce can looks better than the 12-ounce can. I don't know. It's basically the same can, but I think the taller can makes it maybe less generic than the 12-ounce can.
And the Rockdale can looks better than those cans in the Trouble variety pack.
Yeah. Yeah,
those things look like a kid in kindergarten designed that.
Yeah, they're kind of.
They are really, you know, when you drink a beer, it should look like Budweiser, Schlitz. Those cans, people know you're drinking a beer.
Yeah.
When you're drinking a Cat's Away, it's like, well, did they give you that at kindergarten today? I mean, that's not helping any. The packaging.
But you know, over the years, you know, I don't know. I've drank a lot of beers from up there. And their cans always look generic looking. They're just generic looking cans.
They're also very flimsy. If you hold one compared to like a Budweiser can, they have a lot of flex. They're cheap. They just look cheap.
I think,
they are. Well, Bill, you give us the rundown. Okay. Well, I guess we can see what the appearance is. It's very pale. The head is gone. It's very Keystone Light looking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, bubbly. It's typical. So you give us the rundown on the aroma, because we all know what these pale light lagers look like, I'm sure.
Yep, aroma is fairly typical as well. I mean, I'm not getting anything like that's like off, but you smell that sort of. I want to say maybe like a little tap watery kind of situation going on there.
Okay.
Yep. But other than that, you know, a fairly unremarkable specimen. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Now I'm going to read a few comments and then we'll very quickly. Daryl E says, evening, y'all. Cheers. He's drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon tonight. Good job. I mean, good choice. Justin says, hey, Jay, promised I'd watch. And he's also drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon. And hello, Justin. Albino Rhino says, now there's a beer I've never heard of. And unfortunately, there's one you'll probably never see, Albino Rhino, because I don't think it's sold in Canada. Jeff Brister says, hey, guys, I wish I could get this. Sorry, the Brister, because they didn't sell it in Mississippi. Gabrielle Celaya says, which beer is better, Rockdale Light or Tecate Light? Well,
I'd probably take the Tecate Light.
yeah, Tecate Light's better. You're gonna
got
pick.
Rhino watching. We're big time.
That's true. We have hit the big time if one of the big timers is watching.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that as a joke. Wayne,
No, I'm not either.
Wayne Banks says, and he's from Louisiana, he says, stick with my Steel Reserve. Amen. Limestone says, oh, hello, Limestone. Thanks for watching. I've never heard you before. Sapporo rocks all of them. Can't argue with that. And if you ever find Sapporo's Stone Warrior, which is so rare, Sean Hyatt says, Fall City, baby. Oh, yeah, I bought a six-pack.
Hey, look back here on my wall. Fall City.
I bought a six-pack of Fall City in Indiana right off that bridge in 1996. At that little liquor store, you said you knew where it was, right at the end of that, right off the bridge.
Yep.
The guy looked at me funny, too, when I bought it. He was like, looking at me like, what do you want to buy that for? I didn't say a word. I just bought it. I think it was $2.99 for the six-pack.
You're not going to pay $2.99 for a six-pack of Fall City right now.
But that was 21 years ago, and it was, you know, the old,
Now it's a craft beer.
it wasn't chilled or anything. It was just six-pack sitting on a shelf.
Yeah.
I still have a can of it. All right. So, William Kepley of there in North Carolina, what do you think about the aroma and the appearance?
The aroma to me is sort of a faint, musty grain, corny.
Yeah.
Nothing really distinct. And the appearance of it, it's your basic straw-colored lager. The head has dissipated pretty rapidly, although at first it was quite foamy and pretty dense. And it's just, you know, it is what it is. There's no need complaining about light beer. You know what you're getting into. It'd be like moving to Alaska and complaining the weather's too cold. It's just, I just don't particularly care for light beer, but I don't find anything offensive about this in the flavor. It's just too mild to me. It just doesn't have enough taste. That's the only thing that I can really knock it for.
And you never had the 3.5 and the 83 calorie version.
I missed that, fortunately.
Oh, boy, that. Whew. Okay. Now, I'm going to let my guests go first. John Sharon, I'm so glad you joined us tonight. I know a lot of times you're busy and you can't do it, but I know you didn't want to miss this one.
No, I didn't want to miss this one. So here's the deal, because, and let me start this out. It might be a few minutes, so just got to bear with me. So I seen Jay and a couple other people do these revised versions of the Rockdale Light on YouTube. So I done some extensive research, couldn't find anything on it. They're revised on Google. So what I did was contacted the brewery, sent them a text message asking them if this has ever been revised, and didn't get a response. Finally got a response that had been forwarded to such and such. So I called back. So I called their R&D quality control, and I talked to a lady quite extensively, and she said that this beer has never been revised, that this beer is hardly sold anymore. They hardly make it anymore. It's almost extinct in their brewery. But what it is that their Rockdale lager is 3.9% ABV. So what they do is 0.9% lager into the Rockdale Light cans with the 3.9% on it, because the 3.5%, which is the Rockdale Light, and the 3.9%, which is the Rockdale Lager, is still considered under the light beer category. So they just might switch one out for the other. Walmart doesn't order a whole lot of this beer anymore.
Wow.
So
and if you look at, if you turn your can upside down and you look at the Jillian code on the bottom of your can, you'll understand why this beer is not made anymore.
why is that?
Because most of these are made from early 16, some from 15.
What's your number? What does the number say on the bottom?
2216.
That's the same as
So
mine. That is August the 8th of 2016.
No, it's
That's
not August
exactly
8th of 2016.
221st day of the year.
Theirs is they start with 0, which 0 is January, February, March would be the 2nd. So mine is March 21st of 15.
You have a different code then than what we have.
Now, what's your code?
Mine is 2216. That would be the
So yours would be
221st
the
day of
third
the year.
month. So yours would be the third month.
Uh,
So it starts at 0 is January, February, March.
that's
Your
not what the brewery told me, but
the date, the
a
last
pure Julian
number-
code will be the day of the year.
See, mine
Yeah.
is not. If mine is from,
how City Brewing goes is 0, 1, 2, and beyond. So your first number is going to be, if it was 0, it'd be January. If it's 1, it's February. If it's 2, it's March. Your second 2 would be the date, and your last 1 would be the year. 6 or 7.
it's weird because it doesn't taste that old, but
No,
That's the thing with mine. It doesn't taste old.
no.
So
But if you look at your cans, for the people that says it's been revised, if you look at the date on the bottom of your cans, right? The bottom of the cans do not correlate. The 16-ounce cans don't correlate with the 12-ounce cans, because I got 12-ounce cans before this date. I've got 12-ounce cans after this date. See what I'm saying?
I would have to go buy a suitcase of the 12-ounce cans, and there ain't no way I'm doing that.
Well, I bought a suitcase, half load of each of them. But yeah, so to say the beer's been revised, I'm going by what they told me at City Brewing. I've talked to them more than once. But if you look at what they say, if you look at the date on the bottom of the can to the date on this can to the date below, past this can, the dates don't correlate with any of this beer ever being revised. And what they've told me, I have to agree that this is not actually Rockdale Light, but this is the Rockdale Lager in a Rockdale Light can.
Well, basically what you're saying is it doesn't matter anyway, because in a year we will never see it again.
We'll never see it again. No.
Or they're
That's Trouble Brewing. Trouble Brewing is a bygone of Walmart also.
Now, that I find hard to believe, but I guess you're right.
so they're just making one recipe and pouring it in 2 cans.
Huh?
They're making one recipe and pouring it in 2 different cans.
No, they're making 2 recipes and pouring it in 1 can. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
But the 12-ounce cans that I saw that are now 3.9 were 2 months fresher than what I got this 6-pack of 16s.
Yeah, but you really don't know what the 24-ounce cans of 3.9 are, because you got to buy the whole case to look at the date on the bottom.
You have to spin the can where the handle opening is to see it.
But you wouldn't be able to see the date though.
Date on the bottom of it.
The date on a 24-pack is on the outside.
Oh, it is? I couldn't find it.
It was 2856, the 285th day of 2016. That's what that was.
Well, anyway, let's go with the flavor of this. Back to Bill. and I appreciate all the information and the research. And I'm going to talk about a company I called on Tuesday. But yeah, but like William said and John said, if you call these companies, they will tell you stuff. They won't just blow you off. You know.
No, they don't blow you off. They'll talk to you or send you emails.
They won't tell you get lost. So Bill, what do you think about the flavor?
I'm kind of surprised. It's a light beer, so it's maybe a little bit flavorless. That might be an obvious statement, but within this framework, within that context, I'm pleasantly surprised with the flavor of this. It's got some beer flavor. It's got a kind of almost like a creaminess to it on the front end, kind of like a Genesee cream ale. I think it's pretty tasty.
Well, that's good to hear. What about you, William?
This one actually, to me, tastes better than the first one. I think I got a little more acclimated to what it actually is. It's a light malty taste, grainy corn malts, no real bitterness to speak of. And it's not offensive. I've seen videos where people would take a half sip and said they were about to gasp or upchuck or something. I don't see it. I don't find anything offensive or foul about it. It's just a light beer. It is what it is, I said. And
exactly. Yep.
And really, probably a blind taste test could probably stand up pretty well to most of the light beers on the market, actually.
And I would agree 100% on that.
I just don't, I'm not going to get in here and trash this because it's a light beer and it should be only viewed as such. And I don't find anything wrong with it.
And you got the same opinion, huh, John Sharon?
Okay. So, this is City Brewing. When I asked them about their born-on dates on the bottom of their cans, this is what they sent me. Okay. So then I'll get into the rest of it here in just a moment. Okay. It says, our products have date codings on them, which is actual a jillion production date. For an example, something produced on January 31, 2010, it says would read 0310.
0 for 10.
No, 0
wait,
for
no, I mean the last number 0.
031 would be the 31st day.
No, 031.
I have an email.
Yeah, which 0 would be January.
That's not what they told me.
31st would be the date. 0 would be 2010.
Okay. We'll just have to differ on this one. It's not a big deal. It's Rockdale, but they told me that 031 would be January 31st, the 31st day of the year. That's what a pure Julian code does not use letters. A pure Julian code would have no letter affiliation.
And that's exactly. But we agree on that because that's what it just said. It's the 31st day of the first year. The last number in the 4 digits is 0, which is 10, or
right.
1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. But yeah, it is the 31st day of the first year.
My point is they're all numbers. They don't correlate to a month. 031 is the 31st day of January.
Yes.
366 would have been December the 31st. 366. 6 for the year.
Because of leap year.
Right. So if it was produced on the last day of 2016, it would be 3666.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's scary.
That's what I got that in writing from City Brewing because when I bought some Iron City Lager at Total Wine and I thought it was old. So I emailed the company and told me to explain what these codes were. This was when I first started getting into the coding and stuff. And they sent me back and I took it to Total Wine and they refunded the money and gave me another one or 6-pack.
I got to say, I'm still seeing a lot of bubbles on this beer.
Well, you better take these beers back to Walmart so they give your money back because these are definitely old.
Yeah, they're not super fresh, honestly. But so John, you think the flavor is good?
I think for as old as what the code is on the bottom, these beers still taste fresh. They're good. I mean, you're like me, Jay. You've had beers over the last 10, 15 years from Wisconsin, and you've seen the improvement of the beers that they've had. I mean, I don't think Walmart's going to say we want a beer 30 light or some beer like that,
Oh, no.
or flat 12, or not a flat, but
Big flat.
big flats. But you know, I mean, for what it is, I mean, it's a light beer. It's a good light beer if you like light beers. I've bought a barrel of this stuff. They raised the price $2. I might buy some more of it. But you know, I mean, for a budget beer, to me, if I'm going to buy a budget beer, I'm going to buy this. I know it's old, but it still tastes great. But I mean, the overall complexity of this beer is still rock solid. It's good. I don't find it offensive. I don't find it bad. I enjoy it, and that's me.
Now
I look at it for what it is. It's a solid rock beer, light beer. It's good.
Now I'm going to give you my rundown on it. Like I was mentioning, I had the Sam's Club. Now, every store brand you get at Walmart is not good. Okay, but a lot of it is. I drink the Walmart Great Value coffee. I take no issue with it. It serves its purpose. It's not the greatest coffee in the world, obviously, but I can get a huge canister of it for $8.48, which is cheaper per ounce than any other coffee I can get. And it is enjoyable. I drank it every morning for years.
How'd that Walmart tomato juice work for you last week?
It worked very poorly in the mix. But that was because of probably my issue, because I'm going to tell you right now. When yeah, you know, when I drank that tomato juice every day since, and I drank some this morning, it was velvety, it was sweet, it had acidity, it had character, it was good, it had enough salt in it. I enjoyed it. So there was nothing wrong with the Great Value tomato juice. The problem there lay in the fact that I did a bad job doing the mix. And I don't think, honestly, I do not think that the Firestone Walker 805 Blonde Ale was appropriate beer to do a chilada with. I should have used something like a regular Tecate or even a Budweiser. And then I used that Dave's Insanity sauce, and that made it have a funny, unusual aroma. So I don't think it was a good mix. All right, back to this beer. Now, I was drinking Christian Brothers VS brandy before this, and so there could be a little bit of that left in the glass, which did not detract from this, because it maybe add a little, it might have added a little caramel sweetness to it. But this beer is very, like Bill said, and it's malty. There's a malt character. It is not like some, maybe I'm thinking of Keystone Light, some light beers that are so syrupy, you know, like corn syrup. And one of the guys that used to do hangouts with us, Tom, the beer whisperer, he would complain about the corn syrup thing, you know. But this one, to me, does not have so much of that. It's more of a barley malt. Of course, now, naturally, it's very faint. The flavor profile on this is, to a large extent, vapid, right? Like, it lacks any kind of real character. I would think if I was going to drink a light beer, and by the way, I would not be drinking a light beer, but if I was going to, I would drink Miller High Life Light 11 days out of a week over this. If I was going to drink light beer, and I wouldn't be, I would drink, I'm thinking of another one. Perhaps, let's see, what's another good one? I always gravitate toward Miller High Life Light, you know. Oh, Busch Light, maybe, I don't know. Milwaukee's Best Light, yeah, because that's got a hoppier note. It's a little more bitter. But this, instead of sitting here just reminiscing and thinking about light beers that would be better than this. Obviously, the mouthfeel is thin. The finish is pretty crisp. It's super dry. It's very dry. I don't have any complaints about it. For $10.56, a 24-pack, if somebody's got budget problems and they can't really afford to buy a whole lot of expensive stuff or even marginally pricey items, I think it works for that. I just don't know how many people are going into Walmart and buying this. Even people that are strapped for cash, because if you notice, a lot of people, as poor as they are, they can always afford cigarettes and alcohol.
But see, here's my thing: is when you walk into Walmart, you have to know what you're looking for, and we as beer reviewers and look at stupid crap like what we're looking at here tonight, is we know what we're going in there for. But most people probably walk into Walmart, look at that, and go Rockdale Light. Nah, I'm going to go buy Milwaukee's Best Light.
Yeah.
Because it's a 30 pack for a couple bucks more. You know what I mean? I mean, you got just Milwaukee's Best 30 pack that sticks out at you, or a 24 pack on the top shelf that most people can't reach of Rockdale Light.
It doesn't. It kind of, it sort of looks like a store brand. You look at these labels and they're always deficient in some kind of way. Like they're kind of like, it's sort of like a tip off that it's not a legitimate brand, that it's some kind of, if you remember back in the 1970s when they first started having private label, they were just all white with black print or yellow with black print.
Yeah.
People called them no-name brands.
Generics.
So they were all made by Topco, but that did not, and my mother used to buy that stuff, but that did not go over well with the consumer because they don't always care so much what's inside. It's the presentation. It's the framing effect, like William was talking about. In so many words, the framing effect. So they decided they would start coming out with these, there you go, these faux quasi-legitimate labels. Now, I bet you that beer is Falstaff produced.
Well, that's brewed by Du Bois Brewing Company, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Rockdale Light is not an impulse purchase.
No.
It's
not.
It's not an impulse, and that's probably one of the things working against it the most.
Yeah.
When an average guy goes by the beer rack, I mean, it's like a dizzying array of beers to choose from. And I mean, it's just, most of these beers, I think, probably are sold novelty items. People are curious. They'll get Rockdale Light maybe 1 or 2 times just for the curiosity factor to say they've had it.
Exactly.
Right. But there's nothing offensive about it.
No. Like, if you strip all of that other stuff away, it's not bad.
No.
It really isn't.
But I mean, I don't know about you guys. When I walk into Walmart, we're big here with Myers and stuff.
Yeah. So,
and I go to both, but when I walk into the store, I look at what people's got in their carts.
Yeah.
I try the beers that people's got in their carts.
Do that all day long.
Compared to the 2 stores, I mean, it's pretty amazing to see what people have in their cart from Myers to the type of beer that people have in their cart from Walmart. It's almost like 2 different varieties of I mean, it's just ungodly because I go to Walmart and people's got more your Milwaukee's Best and your adjunct, but you go to Myers and people might have some Budweiser, Bud Light, but they're always going to have that 6 or 12 pack of something different that it's not an adjunct. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, I'll say this is bland and blah as Rockdale Light is, and I certainly think it's a bland blah beer, and I would rate it like a C, like fair. I think it's a lot better than that Kirkland's Light.
Oh, it's better than Kirkland's Signature Light, yes, by yeah.
That had too many weird, strange, and unusual flavors and aromas that were not appropriate to that.
It's almost got a lemony taste to it.
And you can get the same bad experience from those Trader Joe's beers. But they're all made by Minhas, and they're strange, unusual, and you drink them and you think, I don't know, there's some. Now, the worst thing you can say about this beer is just dull to the hilt. Well, I mean, I can live with dull.
Yeah.
But I don't want dull, but I can live with it. It doesn't make you like ill. You drink enough of those Kirklands, you start feeling ill, like nauseated in a way.
Like
One
at
observation I've seen at my local Walmart is that the Milwaukee's Best Lager is selling quite well.
Yep. Yeah.
It
Well,
is.
That's a really nice beer.
$5.88 for
See,
12
whenever-
pack.
But the thing about it is though, they took that crappy looking can away, and now they got a good looking 30 pack. We buy them in 30 packs. There we can't get them in 24 pack. But you got a good looking case pack of 30. You got a good looking can, and I think that appeals to people that they're not seeing that old generic looking label, the old generic looking can. Now you're seeing something. It's bright. It's red, white, blue, and it's all about, and it's at a good price.
That lager in bold print, it sort of jumps out at you.
Yeah.
But all of
It's a
these
nice
beers we're
presentation.
talking about, all these beers we're talking about, all kind of have the same issue, right? I mean, it's like you almost have to like try one to really understand kind of like the redeeming qualities of it. In other words, if you bring Rockdale Light to the Super Bowl party you're invited to, you're going to get clowned to no end. Same way with Milwaukee's Best Lager. If you don't come into something like that with a name, and I think that's kind of part of the reason that these beers are where they are in terms of sales, is like, it's kind of almost like a closet type of thing. That's my own personal kind of preference.
Yeah.
You're right. And okay, look, if somebody likes light beer, I don't like. John Sharon likes light beer. Okay, I don't really like light beer. It's too thin for me. Okay, my neighbor across the street, she loves light beer. So if I buy her a 12-pack of Milwaukee of old High Life Light, Miller High Life Light, she is so delighted. All right, the last really good, in my opinion, the last really good budget beer up until Milwaukee's Best Lager, which to me is a dynamite product. To me, John Sharon thinks, oh, you're cuckoo, you're nuts. He didn't like it too much. But the last, and I know John agrees with me on what I'm about to say, the last really good budget regular beer was Meisterbrow.
Yeah. I remember Meisterbrow back in the day. That's a
Oh,
long time ago.
I could deal with Meisterbrow, man. I bought that beer, but it was too like old-fashioned. Like it had too much flavor, it had too much body, it had too much character for your average beer drinker. And of course, a craft beer person would never dream of drinking it,
But the thing about Meisterbrow, I mean, at the time, there was nothing else like Meisterbrow on the market, and it kind of, I kind of think it maybe scared some people away.
Why would you be scared?
It kind of funneled out, and then Miller bought it and reformulated it, and
yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, the 1983 Meisterbrow. And another one that was a close competitor, which also died on the vine, and I bought some of it, was Falstaff. Man, I was buying Falstaff when it was made by Pearl Brewing in San Antonio, Texas.
now you talking about Falstaff or Falstaff 96?
No. I'm talking about this. I saved a can of it because I knew I just had a feeling. This.
I remember that.
I bought this in 1996.
Yeah, but then Pabst bought that brand. Aren't they coming back out with that again in limited quantities?
Oh, that's what people say, but where is it? Where is it? I'm waiting. Yeah, look, Pearl Brewing Company, San Antonio, Texas. It says it right here on the can. And it had a roasty, like the thing about Falstaff, it had some like roastiness that you don't get in a regular beer. But oh well, didn't do them any good because nobody bought it but me.
Let me grab my can up here, see where it's made at.
Pearl Brewing Company. All right. Okay, while John's doing that, I'm going to mention this, and then we'll get off the air because we don't want to bore people to death. Now, and then I'll read a few more comments.
Okay, so Jay, let me say it. Here's my Falstaff 96 can. Okay.
Yeah, I know about that.
It says made in Cranston, Rhode Island, Fort Wayne, Indiana, New Orleans, St. Louis, Galveston, and Omaha, Nebraska.
That was the old Falstaff empire that collapsed.
Yeah.
and got bought out by Pabst.
Yeah. And that's an old tin can too.
Yeah.
That's solid tin, so it's not aluminum rosin. So
Yeah.
I don't think any of the major breweries could have predicted the popularity of light beer in general.
No,
The top 3 selling beers in the United States are all light beers.
that's right.
And, you know, when Miller High Life had their great taste and less filling with the athletes, that was marketing gold. They struck the mother lode with advertising on that.
Yeah.
I mean, we could argue with Dick Butkus that it was not manly to drink a light beer, or Bubba Smith. I mean, that rarely comes along where you really get an ad campaign that just knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, that was a game changer.
Skyrocketed light beer, and you know, and since
Miller Lite didn't come about till they bought Meisterbrau, because remember Meisterbrau had a Meisterbrau Light.
Right. It was totally mismarketed.
Yeah. It was called L-I-G-H-T instead of L-I-T.
No. It was L-I-T-E. It was
No, not Meisterbrau Light.
Oh man, you about to lose some money, huh?
L-I-G-H-T.
No, it was L-I-T-E. It was Light by Meisterbrow, and it was a woman in leotards, and it was a diet beer, and it was for women to do workouts and drink light beer. No one bought it. What happened was Miller bought it, and their CEO said, "This is so mismarketed. No one's going to buy a diet beer. No one cares about this." So they got a marketing team together, and they rebranded it as L-I-T-E from Miller. And like William's talking about, the less filling tastes great, less filling, and then that just took off, and that changed the whole. That changed the whole,
beers.
Yeah, it changed. That was a paradigm shift.
But to me,
John, if you look up on Google or Yahoo and you type in Meisterbrow L-I-T-E, you'll see the old ads from the late '60s. It really, literally was L-I-T-E.
But I think in beer history, beers like Budweiser and Schlitz were the original light beers because they were crafted to cater to the American drinking preference after Prohibition and after World War II. So those to me are light beers. That's my definition of a light beer, is a Schlitz or a Budweiser or Falstaff, Old Milwaukee, whatever. To me, that's a light beer.
Yeah, but then they wanted to go even further down the line with it, make it really light.
Yeah, but
And
those were
with ultra light.
those were light beers, not German Pilsners.
No.
You know, so but it's like you said, this would be light beer stage 2, and
Right.
It just took off like a rocket.
And I've been thinking about doing this for the last couple of weeks, but I need to do a YouTube video of about 12 or 15 light beer cans here that come out about the same time, if not a little before, frickin' Miller Lite, about the same time Meisterbrow did. I need to do a review, YouTube video, and show those cans.
I'd watch it.
Because I've got cans I guarantee nobody's ever heard of, didn't even know it even existed.
No. And William's talking about sort of like the difference between Deep Purple and then after Ian Gillan joined.
Yeah.
The Mark II Deep Purple, is that kind of like what you're talking about? All right.
Mark II was the classic edition. They just couldn't get along. If they'd allowed those guys to spend 6 months away from each other, they could have. Mark II would have lasted 4 more years. And they said that themselves. But they just got sick of each other. They needed a break. But the record company just get out on the road, get your next album out. That's the way it was in the 70s. It was push, push, push the product out.
And they broke them down. Okay.
Mark II was a classic.
That was a classic. In Rock and Machine Head and.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's see what the Brewed. Sorry about that little tangent. The Brewed dude says, "What's up, dudes? We're just drinking beer." Limestone said, "I haven't had Warrior. Yeah, neither has anybody else, pretty much."
I've never seen a Warrior.
Stone Warrior. I've got the only video review in the world for that.
Is that what you call that now? Is that the Sapporo?
Sapporo Stone Warrior.
I have never seen it. You got a can?
I never saw it either. Somebody sent it to me.
You still got the can or bottle?
Yes.
Post it on my beer group so I can see it.
All
You
right.
can find it.
Yeah, because it was from Lacrosse. I got to go look for it. But yeah, it had this like, boy, if I threw that away, I'll kill myself. I'm just kidding. Figuratively. Justin says Walmart doesn't sell beer in Connecticut. That's a heartbreaker. Hey,
You know, we got some Walmarts around here that doesn't sell beer.
every place in Louisiana sells beer except for Dollar General and
See, Dollar General started to sell beer around here now.
Daryl Lee says, what's shaking, dude? Oh, just drinking beer. Limestone said, I had a Sapporo Premium earlier. Now I'm drinking an Allagash White. I've never had Allagash. Limestone said, I love that different beer companies code their dates differently. His explanation is priceless. Every time I see this beer, I think of the REM song, Don't Go Back to Rockville. And then the Brewed says, laugh out loud. Gabrielle says, Rockdale Light versus Kirkland Light beer. Well, there's no contest. Rockdale kills it.
Oh, yeah, every day.
It is what I say. William is a boss. Jonathan Walker says, William is a boss. Darrell Lee says, it's really not offensive. After a couple, however, it loses taste. Kyle 8769 says, this beer is far too weak for me. Yeah, me too, Kyle. But for the price and the fact that it's a light beer, I guess I couldn't expect any more. And then Limestone says, Sapporo has a light, but I never had it. Well, I'd recommend it. Sapporo Light is good. Bud Light is good. I like it. Well, I think most people agree with that. Natural Light versus Pabst Blue Ribbon Light. That's a hard contest, Gabriel. Light Limestone says, I'd do that too, but I wouldn't share what I think. Who brews that beer for Kirkland? Oh, it's Minhas, the infamous Minhas. What's up? YouTube says, drinking a Miller Lite 40 ounce. Ah, can't get those here. Darrell Lee says, bring back Meisterbrow. You'll never see it in this lifetime.
Nope. You know, I wouldn't doubt that maybe one day they won't bring it back.
Gabriel says, do a review of the Beer Cave Creek chili beer with Serrano chili in the 12-ounce bottle. Yeah, I don't think you're going to see that. Charles Lewis, we know him. John Sharon knows Charles Lewis. Julian dates are 1/365 and 1/366 on leap year. Yep, that's right. That's what we're saying.
One thing nobody mentioned was the fact that light beer pairs very well with food.
Oh, like what a
Because
seafood platter.
I mean, it's not going to clash with anything you eat.
How could it?
It's so, you know, if you want to slap back some wings or a pizza with, you know, and drink a bunch of beer, light beer is a pretty nice compliment.
And the calories are low.
It is.
I'm going to show y'all one thing real fast, and then John, and then we'll get off the air. I got this at Mathern's. It was $10.99 for the bottle. Somebody gave me money for Christmas, so what did I do? I bought stuff. All right. It's called Ancient Age.
I've seen that. You know.
It's from the 1940s. It's a bullcrap beer. I mean, a bullcrap bourbon, because what they used to have back in the 30s and 40s was a bourbon called Seagram's Ancient Bottle. And it had an A and a B, a big A and a big B. Ancient Bottle. So what this company did was they said, we have something called Ancient Age. And it used to
who makes that?
And it used to be in the same type bottle like Seagram's. You know that old rumpled bottle?
Yeah.
Well, then Seagram's went downhill. So then all of a sudden, Ancient Age turned into Jack Daniel's bottle. Who makes it? Sazerac. Buffalo Trace.
Yeah.
Same people that make Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah.
It's,
Will.
Huh?
Go ahead. I'm done. No.
It's sour mash. It's a sour mash bourbon. From what the feedback I've got is this is sort of an iconic thing. But now, I was looking on their website, Great Bourbons, and apparently there's another one called Ancient Age. Ancient Age. It's aged 10 years, whereas this one's only aged 3 years. I said, I got to find out about this Ancient Age. So I asked around here. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Well, William knows what I did. I called Sazerac, Buffalo Trace in Frankfort, Kentucky. They answered the phone. They said, we're going to find out. They start typing it in. The lady says, oh, yeah, okay. It has not been sold in your area since 2009. She said, I can give you a list of every store in America that has it, but it's nowhere near you. She said, mostly it's Georgia that buys it, the Ancient Age. And she said, I'm sorry I couldn't help you anymore. And I said, well, I appreciate the help because it answers my question. And every time I've called this company, my feedback has been really good. They give me just perfect information. That's it. That's
I
all
will, I will look for that. I'm going to look for some couple things this weekend. I will definitely walk through the bourbon aisle, see if I can find that.
Okay. Well, you can find Ancient Age more than likely.
Yeah.
But you can call that 1-800 number or 1-866 number, and they'll tell you who has it if they have it. But anyway, I know Williams talked to me about this in the past, how he, and you, of course, you call these companies, they'll tell you stuff.
Hey, they're not hesitant one bit to send you a text or an email or talk to you on the phone about their beers. I mean, they're very, if you tell them what you're doing and what your intentions are, they're very promising on giving up information on what you want.
Beer, wine, or liquor, all of them.
Yeah, any of them.
I just drank a Schlitz malt liquor Red Bull without Pabst and their help. I never would have found that beer.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been very helpful to me. I've found more brands than I ever anticipated in the last 7-8 months.
Yeah.
And
Just picked off one after the other.
And that was a fun exploration, wasn't it?
That was. It's still ongoing. One thing is now Hams has updated their website, and Hams has a beer locator on their website now.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. Well,
And merchandising also, you can buy glass and a few other things. But the locator is a big plus for Hams because I'd like to score a 30-pack of that maybe sometime this summer.
We can get Hams here for $10.47 a 30-pack. We can get Hams or Hams Special Reserve Light.
I've only seen it in a 30-pack.
Yeah. But now we're starting to see the 6-packs of Hams, regular Hams in 16-ounce cans for like $2.97 for a 6-pack.
good grief. Well, they'll never beat the Hams Genuine Gold. I used to love that, but it's gone. I used to buy it in Chicago. Hey, William, Bill, any last comments?
Yeah. Surprisingly nice on the Rockdale Light. Says right on the can, smooth and refreshing beer. I would agree with that. Nice creamy taste. I like it. I was pleasantly surprised. And yeah, it's a good one.
Would you buy it again?
I would if my choices were limited.
Right. I would not buy it again, but it's an unfair question because I don't buy light beer, so it's a moot. It's like a question that has no meaning in my case. William and John, your final thoughts on it.
Go ahead, William.
Go ahead.
I mean, I think it's a good beer for what it is. I mean, I look at it for what it is. It's a generic light beer, budget beer. Is it better than most? No. Is it worse than most? No. Is it a middle of the road? Yes. Is it enjoyable? Yes. I think there's better beers out there on the market for a couple bucks more, but for a price point, it's not bad. Am I going to buy it again? Yeah, I'll probably buy it again. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, depends on what kind of mood I'm in, what kind of beer I want to drink. But, mostly I'm a Miller Lite guy. Drink a lot of Miller Lite, but I drink a lot of craft beer too. But, I mean, price point wise, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I don't have to buy it. I buy it because I like it. But, yeah, it's good.
Man, if you ever make it back to New Orleans, I really want to try to get you that Schaefer Light. You've never had it.
No.
I tried to get it last time and it was sold out.
Yeah.
I'm disgusted. That's an iconic beer if they ever had one, Schaefer. William?
This beer is not a joke. There's a lot of mystery and misunderstanding surrounding the fact that it's brewed. It's a Walmart product, but it's not a joke. It's a credible beer. If you're a light beer drinker, I would say give it a shot. You may be pleasantly surprised.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. And last comments, let's see. I'm going to look at my comments list. I'm going to shut that off. Charles Lewis. John, you know Charles Lewis fairly well.
Yeah.
He says, Julian, and then he says, Tup. I don't know what Tup means. Oh, yep. And then Big Buck Getter says, what's up? Hello, Big Buck Getter. I'm not familiar with you. Carmelo Washburn says, I love chili beer. Charles Lewis says, I have a friend who works for Sazerac. You do? Wow, that's interesting. Thomas Molina says, howdy. He says, Schaefer Light is very good. I agree with that. And then Big Buck Getter says, Bush Copper Lager. Well, you could say bye-bye to Bush Copper Lager.
That's a tragedy.
That's a tragedy.
See, I'm starting to see a lot of these fade away. That's why I've been buying up a lot of these beers like that, Miller Fortune, and a lot of these beers because I want to do YouTube reviews on them before they go away.
I know. I want to watch them. And look, we're closing out, y'all. It's been an hour almost. Next week, join us for a new kid on the block. And it's Milwaukee's Best Ice, the new 6.9% version, which the Miller people around here told me it is selling like crazy. But I guess so. They're selling 2 pint cans for $2.50.
The beast reinvented.
Exactly.
Right. Two pint cans for $2.50 total.
Hey, you know what's good about this?
What?
We can sit here and talk about this beer. We can argue about this beer, and we can do whatever we want to. You know what? We're all still buddies at the end.
I wish I could say that's the case in the past with every beer discussion, but I can't.
As Rodney King once said, can't we all get along?
Exactly. And I think we do.
I can, but hey, but my record is still pure because, in my case, my record is still pure because you know how many people I've unfriended over beer in my life? Exactly 0.
Is that a rhetorical question?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I answered.
So, hey, but William, I appreciate me and you arguing. I enjoyed you, buddy. And everybody else, I enjoyed you. But
I wouldn't say arguing. I would say we were just having a conversation.
Right.
Exactly.
I gotta get up early. Well, y'all have a good night now, and everybody take care. Thanks, Bill.
Hey,
John.
but I appreciate all you guys and Bill, William, Jay. Thanks. Glad we could all do this. And I will see y'all next week. And I'll talk to you on Facebook.
Okay. Milwaukee's Best Ice. Get ready.
Ice, baby.
Get ready for the alcohol next week.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Right, bye-bye. Good night.
See ya.
Everybody have a
Bye.
safe rest of the week and a safe weekend.